So I literally spent so much time in front of this pantry yesterday. You guys can't really see it, but this is my kitchen pantry. My brain was literally just like pulling me to eat all day yesterday, and I feel like sometimes I just have days like that. And I feel like in the past, I used to always just eat. Like I felt like I wanted to eat, I felt like I was bored, I felt like I was procrastinating and kept getting this urge to go to my pantry and stare at the snacks and all the things, and I would just eat because I was like, what else was I supposed to do? Well, then I realized that that's not the only option, that we actually have a choice. Even if we feel like we want to eat, we don't always have to do it. And I love this quote that I always say is, desire can't drive action without a decision. So I want to share with you guys a couple of tips that have been super helpful for me to not graze and eat all day when I don't really want to, but maybe I'm tempted to. So I think the first one that's the most helpful is you have to actually make a decision. You have to become aware of this, as I was yesterday and as I have been in the past. You have to become aware that we're doing this and decide, do I want to be eating when I walk to the pantry, when I walk to the fridge in the middle of the day, and maybe it's not a meal and I'm actually not hungry? What do I actually want to do? We have to decide that first. And then the second thing is, why don't I want to be literally just eating all day? I know for me, and we have to make sure that our reasons are strong enough to keep us away and out of the pantry. I know for me, it's because I don't feel my best when I do. I feel more bloated. It's harder to maintain my weight where I want it. And I just don't feel great all day. We are, as humans, aren't meant to literally just like put food in our bodies all day, like as a side note. I would say the third thing is we have to, I encourage you guys to decide, like, when do you want to be eating and when don't you want to be eating, and for what reasons? I know for me, like, I don't like to be just generally emotionally eating. I don't like to do that. I don't like to be just mindlessly eating, or I don't want to make a habit of just eating when I'm bored or don't want to do the work, because then one, I'm eating when I don't want to be, and two, I'm not getting the work done. So for me, I have very specific reasons when I want to be eating, and that's when I'm hungry, or it's like a rare occasional food experience, I call it. Like I'm on a trip and we're doing some type of food tasting or something like that. For other reasons outside of that, like emotional or mindless, I really don't want to be eating. So I encourage you guys to think of what those are for you. And then lastly, we have to start paying attention to when we're finding ourselves in front of our pantry or in front of our fridge, wherever that spot is for you. I know I've had one in each of the houses that I've had. Like I have a specific spot that I find myself in. You have to decide to make a practice of start paying attention to when we find ourselves walking there, when we're standing there, maybe when we started to take food out. And then we have to ask ourselves what I call the 4 mindful eating questions. What am I about to do? Why am I about to do it? And do I like my reason? Is it aligned with what I want right now, but also what I want most? What my goals are, the person that I want to be? And we have to honestly answer those questions for ourselves and then make an intentional decision from there.